first off, this is GMS Any Sit Down. I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. Blessings to your elect, all you brothers out there teaching truth and sincerity, double honors to your apostles of GMS, okay, which are leaders in this world, you know what I'm saying, under Yahweh Shai, okay. With that being said, we wanted to get into a lesson, you know, and it's just connecting the dots, you know what I'm saying, because we deal with all these different elements of scoffers, you know, saying with the dealing with the woman at the well, you know what I'm saying, not understanding that at that point in time the Israelites inhabited that land at a point in time, okay, and we need to understand that why did Yahushua have that conversation with that woman at the well in that type of manner, okay. So when you do all this jump into conclusions, being presumptuous, you know what I'm saying, get your facts straight, all right, because when the facts come from the scriptures, you know what I'm saying. When you say, well, that was a woman at the well, she was Samaritan, or if you go into the fact she was Ethiopian, that don't mean Ethiopians can't be saved. That don't mean heathens can't be saved. In fact, he talked to her like that, what she was doing there, you know. You do all this fucking studying for the so-called white man, but you won't do your proper procedures for the scriptures. You just do it enough to prove your point, you know. All right, so let's get to Genesis. What's that chapter?
21st chapter.
Can I, was it 33?
What?
No, this is in Numbers. I want to get this far as based off the whole aspect of you are who your father is.
Yeah, you can get that. I want to get Jacob's well when he purchased the land. I want to get that. Because we're dealing with the fact that that land in Samaria has to deal with the Jacob's well, okay? That is what that land of Samaria is. We're going to go into why the land of where Jacob's well was located, why in that time of Yahweh Shai was there heathens in that land, okay? You can go ahead.
Okay, it says Numbers chapter 1 verse 2. Take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families by the house of their fathers.
By the house of their fathers. What that means, that means you are your dad's, whoever your dad is. You know, so the Most High deals with genetics. You know, your genetics is your spirit. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know, you shouldn't want to get blood transfusions and things. That's why, you know, you can't help it if you can't. You know what I'm saying? But your genetics are based off your the seed. You know what I'm saying? That's your makeup. That's why different nationalities have characters.
This is a cold cut,
you know,
bro.
that's why genetic backgrounds have certain characters. If Jake has sex with a so-called white woman, that kid comes out, that kid's gonna act black. Okay, a kid's gonna act Jake-like. But if Edomite has sex with a Jake woman, that kid's gonna act Jake-like. Now you have the thin line when Edomites are raised like Jake, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? They're raised like Edomites. Jakes are raised like Edomites. But they all, when it comes to crunch time, and I say crunch time, their natural instinct, Jake always comes out. Or if they're Edomites, Edomites always come out, man. You know what I'm saying? When you put them under pressure, you know, their natural habitats come out, you know. You got motherfuckers that Jake be raised in the army. I got a cousin, he's raised in the army. But I bet if you say something stupid to him, he's gonna go to cursing you out, talking to you stupid. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, basically he's gonna get niggerish on you. He's gonna, you know, get Jake on you. You know what I'm saying? Whereas you got a Jake, that Edomite that's been raised like a Jake. You know what I'm saying? They be acting like, you know, what's that? I'm gonna keep it G real. You know what I'm saying? You catch him and you you freeze him up. You know what I'm saying? You freeze Edomite up that's been raised around Jake and getting a so-called hood pass. You freeze him up, he's going to come out and start acting like an Edomite. Call the police on you, whatever he's going to do. You know? Go ahead.
It says, after their families by the house of their fathers with the number of their names, every male by their poll.
Every male by their poll. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not all about the woman. It's about your genealogy is based off the male. You know what I'm saying? Now, common sense, good sense, everyday sense. You know what I'm saying? Common knowledge is that you do pick up habits, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're raised on a pig farm, you're gonna have a habit of doing shit to raise pigs. You know what I'm saying? If you're raised in a ghetto, you're gonna have ghetto tendencies. You know what I'm saying?
It's just like our people learning the ways of the heathen.
Yep. Yeah. Let's get that scripture. The Most High made man upright, but I believe it's in Hebrews.
Ecclesiastes.
That's Ecclesiastes.
That's all many inventions.
Yeah.
You want to finish this or wait for that?
Yeah. Let's wait for that.
Okay.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 29. It says, "Lo, this only have I found, that the Most High hath made man upright.
Yep.
But they have sought out many inventions."
They sought out many inventions. Basically, we're Israelites, Negroes, Latino, Native Americans. We have a certain character about ourselves, but there are things that corrupt our character in many ways. All right, and that's the many inventions. Let's look up that definition of inventions. Brothers got there on standby. You know, because man, Lord had made man upright, but they sought out many inventions. What are inventions? Once we get into the definition, should give a clear idea. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm pulling it up right now.
You can go straight into the definition. You don't have to go into the Greek word. This you call it the Strong's number though.
Okay, the Strong's is H2810, and inventions. The definition is device or invention. I went into the root word. It says to think, plan, esteem, calculate, invent, make a judgment, imagine, count.
Yep, imagine, count, judgment, what you think is the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? What ideas you have. You know what I'm saying? Your imagination. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, it pretty much just goes on saying the same thing in different ways.
Okay.
To think, account, to plan, devise.
Yep, devise. So they sought out many inventions. They sought out many ideas. You know what I'm saying? And that's in the prime example of that is that's why so-called white man pushes this whatever their agenda they use, they push it through their ideas. They push it through movies, they push it through school, they push it through any type of programming. And then that programming reflects your actions, man. You know what I'm saying? When they present it to you, you know, just like with the homosexuality, man, that shit wasn't big time. People did it, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't become big time like that until it's all on TV. They defend it on TV. You can't say nothing bad about it. Let them be them, and let's explore. And you got it in movies, you got it on sports, you got it in, you know what I'm saying? They push it, they push it, they push it. That's an invention. So when you see that, your mind is polluted by that. You know what I'm saying? That's why you're not supposed to be raising no man like no soft ass nigga, man. You're supposed to raise a man like a man. Because he's gonna seek out many inventions. The Bible says, raise up a child in the way that they should go. You know what I'm saying? You women are raising your children up to be like little punks, man, or have no discipline. Okay.
Another definition, just to go with that, it says to think upon, consider, be mindful of. You know, things that they're gonna remember. Raised in a certain way, they're gonna remember that way you raised them.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Well, that's good. Let's get back to the gusto. Okay. You go ahead.
Okay.
I'm gonna get off it. So.
Yeah, you can. I'm gonna breeze right through it. And it says every male by their poles, and then I'm gonna jump that. I'm gonna read right through it. And then it says from verse 3, Numbers 1 and 3, from 20 years old and upward, all that are able to go forth to war in Israel, that thou and Aaron shall number them by their armies, and with you there shall be a man of every tribe, every one head of the house of his fathers. Now
that's important because the house of their fathers of every tribe is a representative of what? The tribes in Israel as a whole.
I got you out.
Okay.
Now when you read verse 5 through 15, it says, and these are the names of the men that shall stand with you of the tribe of Reuben, verse 5. I'm going to just read it on down. Y'all can read it yourself. 5 through 15. It says, Reuben, Simeon, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Benjamin, Dan, Asher, Gad, and Naphtali. So it's talking about of those tribes right there. Out of those tribes, the men were named to be according to those families, man. So you are who your father is, man.
That's right. All that mixed shit is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And the it's a people before it's a place, and that's what we're getting into today. That we're dealing with a people before it's a place. We're dealing with genetics before we're dealing with spirituality. You know what I'm saying? And that may confuse you, but you have to be an Israelite by blood. You know what I'm saying? Before you're Israelite in the spirit, because you can't be an Israelite in this. You can keep the laws, because guess what? When we inherit when New Jerusalem comes, all nations gonna keep the laws, and if they got a problem with it, they're gonna be dealt with. You know what I'm saying? So does that make them Israel? No, they still gonna be Chinese, Japanese, or Moabites, Ammonites. Okay, so you are who your genetics are, and then once you get into your genetics, then you could be an Israelite spiritually. You know what I'm saying? There is a sense of a spiritual Israelite, but you have to be for when you talk about the scriptures applying to salvation and the Lord talking to you, these scriptures, the Bible itself being presented to you, that has to be dealt with your genetic background, man. Okay, and if it addresses you, then it's talking about you as far as your genetic background. So when the Lord talks about destroying Edomites, and you're talking about I wasn't there, it ain't talking about your forefathers. It's talking about your genetic background. You're connected to them. When you read about Esau, okay, just the same way that's the show the hypocrisy in this society is that when you read about Thomas Jefferson, you read about Christopher Columbus, you read about George Washington, you read about Bush. You know what I'm saying? You read about anybody of these people, Ray Nagin, and you hear all the great things they did. You have a sense of pride. You Edomites have a sense of pride about yourselves. That's why you got Yahweh Shai looking white, because even if Yahweh, theoretically, if Yahweh Shai was an Edomite, right? Way back in the day, that gives you what? A sense that you're great, because Yahweh Shai was great, and he's an Edomite. But when it comes to your demise and your destruction and your wickedness, you don't want to be connected with that. You know what I'm saying? That shows how wicked Edomites are. You know, and the scriptures give that plain and shows how things have happened, man. You know, but the Most High wanted to be like that. He wanted these stumbling blocks to be here. You know?
And verse 18 clearly goes into everything the brother just said, man. You know, so I'll let y'all read that on your own. Okay, where we at? Genesis?
Chapter 21.
Yeah, with the 18 through 20? With Jacob's well? I mean, Jacob's purchase?
33.
Because they talk about the well of Abraham, but they don't talk about Jacob's well. Only in the New Testament. But Jacob made a purchase of land. Okay, and that land is where the well is located. And then how can we connect that is through a series of events that happened throughout history, and it was recorded in the Bible. Okay, go ahead. You got it?
Yeah.
I got it. Genesis 33 and 18. And Jacob came to Shalem, a city of Shechem,
Okay, go ahead.
Which is in the land of Canaan, when he came from Padam Aram and pitched his tent before the city. And he bought a parcel of the field where he had spread his tent at the hand of the children of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 pieces of money.
Yep, and that land today, that land, biblically, if you look on the biblical map, that land will be the land of Samaria, okay, the Samaritans, okay, that will be that land. That's that location where that land that Jacob purchased. You got any maps on Shechem?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if that lines up. It should line up quite well.
Willing, put in post-production.
That's right.
Want me to finish this last verse?
Yep.
Okay, so, verse 20, Genesis 33 and 20, it says, and he erected there an altar and called it El Elohe Israel.
Yep.
Which interpreted, that is, the power or the God of Israel.
Okay.
You know?
Yep. That's right on the money. Yeah, that's right on the money. Let's show them. Let's show them Shechem and show them that Shechem and show them Samaria, because you got both of them, right?
Yeah.
It says Samaria and Shechem. Okay. Well, he posted the land Shechem. You know, we're gonna have to put it.
Yeah, you got to put it. It's hard to see.
The lighting is horrible.
Yeah.
But Shechem and Samaria is the same vicinity.
I got a couple that you can put in there that you can show.
Okay. So let's move on. Let's go into 2 Kings. Okay, of course the 17th chapter, and we're gonna go into the third verse, and then we'll jump to
17:3.
Yep.
Okay. This is the book of 2 Kings 17 verse 3. It says, against him came up Shalmaneser of Assyria, and Hosea became his servant, and gave him presents. And the king of Assyria.
Now Shalmaneser is the same. We're gonna get into it. Go ahead.
This is verse 4. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hosea, for he had sent messengers to So, king of Egypt, and brought no present to the king of Assyria. And he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison.
Yep. So basically, at that point in time, that was dealing with the Persians and the Medial wars. Okay, that was like our first true downfall. And guess what? That's dealing with the first destruction of the temple, because Darius, correct me if I'm wrong, is Darius the Great, right? But if we don't have put up the post-production, Darius the Great or Darius the Mede was the first person to sack the temple and destroy the temple, because I believe it was destroyed either 2 or 3 times. Okay, I believe it was 3 times. One by Titus, and it was destroyed, I believe, by someone else. But I know Titus and Darius the Great were the 2 to destroy the temple. Okay, and
it might have been Nebuchadnezzar, I believe.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Darius
was
the Great. He made the decree for us.
Nebuchadnezzar was a guy that got the temple, because after Shalmaneser came Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nebuchadnezzar, because what happened was this revolt that was going on. Shalmaneser went to war, but he died around that time, and Nebuchadnezzar finished that war and sacked the temple during that war. Okay, the Water brother, for that correction. All right, go ahead. That's pretty much it to that. No, keep going. Go on to verse 6.
Verse 5, it says, then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years.
Yep.
In the 9th year of Hosea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria, and placed them in Halah and in Habar by the river Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes.
So what happened, that they were exiled out of a piece of land. Okay? Israel was exiled out of a piece of land. And a key part to that is that, let's get 2nd Esdras. We have to get 2nd Esdras now, is because not only Israel was exiled, but the 3 tribes, the southern tribe was exiled. The northern tribe, they got up, they packed their bags and left. Okay? Yeah.
13, 24.
Yeah, I got it. 2nd Esdras chapter 13, starting at
39.
verse 39. And whereas thou saw
No. Yeah, go ahead.
And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Shalmaneser the king of Assyria led away captive.
There you go. You just read it in Second Kings, the 17th chapter. Yeah, Hosea was carried away captive, and the rest of the three tribes were carried away captive, right? Go ahead.
The other tribes, 9 tribes.
No, the 9 tribes, they shook out. Or they during the oppression, they shook out. It was never obtained like that. Okay, because you can, once you read it, you'll get it. You know, let's double read it, and we'll, just in case I messed that up. But we're gonna double read it. You heard me?
Yeah. Sorry. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own lands in the time of Hosea the king.
Yep. So Salakia, that's why we have to double check. Make sure.
Well, can I say something?
Go ahead.
Y'all both pretty much right, because the reason why, like you said, they shook out. It wasn't like by force completely, because they wanted to go to a new land to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. So that's the reason why, they shook out. But it was predominantly the northern tribe, definitely, in half of Levi, and then the other half of Levi stayed with Judah and Benjamin.
And they basically got out of there before it got bad, basically. Go ahead.
Whom Shalmaneser the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over waters, so that they came into another land. But they took counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen.
Yeah, that's the part that was in that area. They took a counsel among themselves. Okay, go ahead.
And go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Where never mankind dwelt. Cause we've been going back and forth. You had to know that land was there to go there. And that was the land that Solomon went to. That took a 3 years journey. Cause on there, you're doing math. A year and a half there is, and a year and a half back equals what? 3. 1.5 plus 1.5 equals 3. Okay, this world is not that big where it takes 1.5 years to get somewhere. There's not multiple places where it takes 1.5 years to get, besides America and the Eastern Hemisphere and the Western Hemisphere. Okay, by water. Okay. You got something?
I think I got the precept on it.
Yeah. You got it with the Solomon joint?
Yeah.
Okay.
It says 2 Chronicles 9 and 20. And all the drinking vessels of King Solomon were of gold, and all the vessels of the house of the forest of Lebanon were of pure gold. None were of silver. It was not anything. And it said anything account of in the days of Solomon. For the king's ships went to Tarshish.
King's ships went to Tarshish. Okay, go ahead.
With the servants of Huram.
Yep, because he had Hamites under his rule. Okay, go ahead.
Every 3 years.
Every 3 years. Okay, go ahead.
Once came the ships of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks.
Yeah, so when it says that every 3 years they came, it doesn't mean that they did a circle in the middle of an area in the ocean. They left somewhere, and it took them, it was a 3 years journey to go there and come back. Okay?
Yeah, because it's not like they came over here and it's just a pile of gold, a pile of silver, a group of apes and a group of peacocks just waiting to get on a boat. You know what I'm saying? They was over here, and then they turned right back around and took that 1.5 years journey.
And it's not, when they say mankind dwell, they ain't talking about a society, because that's where you get them Olmec heads from, because they were over there. And because if it takes a 3 years journey, you can't, and it's not talking, when it says peacocks, it's not talking about these actual peacocks. It's talking, I forgot the term, but once you look it up, it'll say something different. You know what I'm saying? But when they went there, it had to have been a dock of some sort. It had to have been, look, this is what we got to bring back to Solomon once they got there. You know what I'm saying? Because how do you do that? You have to extrapolate. If you got time to build Olmec heads, you know what I'm saying? You was there for a while. You know what I'm saying? But if it takes a 3 years journey, then that don't mean he was chilling there. If it takes a year and a half to get there and back. So it had to been someone there when they get there the 3 years journey that at the dock they had the things that's they had the things that they searched out within that land to bring back to Solomon. Okay? Who had that? You got some more of that?
That's it.
Okay. Go ahead on to the second Esdras.
Second Esdras chapter 13, verse 42, that they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
Yeah, so basically the 10 tribes, when they fell to Shalmaneser and became captive and they were taken, okay, they said, let me get up out of here, basically. Okay, they took up because they wanted to keep their laws. Okay, go ahead. Or we want to keep our laws. Slack you. Go ahead.
And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
Yep, it's basically, you got the, Lord willing, put up in post-production.